Hello and welcome back to Raised on a Garden Pantry. Today I'm going to make a new no-bake dessert called, what's it called? What do you call it? Whatchamacallit bars. Do you like those? So stick around and we'll make them together. So a little known fact about me is whatchamacallit bars are one of my favorite candy bars. And there for a while I couldn't find them at all. And you can see them, you find them here and there now, but I couldn't find them at all. But I just happened to be looking through recipes and I found this and I said, oh, this looks great. So let's give it a try. Let's see how it goes. If they really are like the whatchamacallit bars. Okay, so the first thing you're basically going to be making is like Rice Krispie treats. We're going to melt 3 tablespoons of butter in this saucepan up here. And then we're going to add marshmallows and this stuff, which I never knew. Honestly, it never existed. Peanut butter crunch. Captain Crunch's peanut butter crunch. I never even knew this was here. I do like the cereal, the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup one. I guess if you can't find this, which I think you probably can, you could probably use that one as well. So the butter's melted. I'm going to add about 4 cups of marshmallows. 2 here, 3, and then I got 4 here. All right, we'll stir this up. And then we will add our cereal to it. So, in the meantime, we're just gonna spray this 9x13 pan really well. And I'll set this off to the side here. Keep stirring this, getting them melted and gooey. Now, when I was a kid, my brother and I, in the summertime, would ride up to our gas station, and we had a little drugstore up in our tiny little town that we lived in. And my mom would either give us some money to go get some treats, or she would say, hey, you can take back the pop cans or the cans to the grocery store, because there was a grocery store right up there too. And so we would do that, or sometimes I think we may have been able to even take them to the gas station that we were. Let's turn off. You know what? I should turn off this heat. I do that. The gas station, and we would pick out little treats. And this was one thing I would get on occasion too. I also really liked those 2, 3. Let me make sure I don't. 4, 5, and 6. Ooh, there's just a little left. We'll have those to munch on. All right, so let's get this. I also used to get lemon heads, were one of my favorites, and cherry clang, because I think those were maybe 25 cents for a little box, and they came in a little paper box. We used to love it, or gum, or I don't know, whatever. But this was one thing. I'm not the biggest chocolate fan, so I didn't always get chocolate. I was more of a, gummies and candy and things. I don't even remember. It's like, I love gummy bears and stuff like that, and gummy worms, and I really like the sour candies and stuff now. But this is one candy bar I will get excited about eating, so I'm kind of excited to try this. These seem really large though for the bar. I kind of feel like you could crush them up a little bit too, but we'll see how this recipe goes. Alright, now you just want to take it and kind of spread it out. Sometimes I like to take Might be a little warm with the spray. My hand. And I'll, well, no, it's not hot. I wanted to get sprayed right up there on that part. And I'll just pat it down. So you just want to pat it down just like you make Rice Krispies. Let's do a little more. And just kind of pat it down really good. And you want to make it a nice even layer, because the next thing we're going to make is a chocolate layer, caramel, and then chocolate. So, all right, yeah, I feel like, all right, so if you've never made a recipe, you should always kind of make it first, and then you can tweak it. But I feel like I should have chopped these up a little bit. All right, so here we go. And then we'll move on to the next part. The next part, we're going to melt a stick of butter, because now we're going to make the caramel layer in here. Actually, you know, well, you have to have that peanut butter taste. I was just thinking, you know, you could use Rice Krispies. I don't think they have peanut butter Rice Krispies, but you could, I don't know. That might be something different. I don't know. We'll see how this recipe goes. And we might, we'll see how it goes first. I'm trying to rewrite a new recipe. So, all right. So after this is melted, we're going to get some sweetened condensed milk and some, not chocolate, some corn syrup. All right. That's pretty good and melted. Now we're going to add, I have sweetened condensed milk in here and some corn syrup. I did that trick where we sprayed the pan or the measuring cup to help it come out a lot easier. And it works really good. All right, so now we just want to stir this in together, and then we're going to bring it probably up to a nice little boil, and we're going to kind of boil it for probably about 5 minutes. 6 minutes to make a caramel sauce. So this is gonna take a few minutes. And I forgot, you wanna put a half a cup of brown sugar in here too, because that would be kind of important, because then that helps make your caramel. So I am looking at a brand new recipe that I've never made before, and you know, I have to look sometime. You know, you gotta look and make sure you get it right. And it always seems like when you're making new recipes, they seem to take forever, or they take longer. So just be patient and work with them and do the recipe or follow the directions. All right, let's get that brown sugar nice and stirred in, and that will help make it caramelly too. And I think that's it. Yes, that is it. And then we'll work on the, okay, it's starting to come to a boil. And you want, remember, you want to stir it. I should have mentioned that. You want to stir it the whole time, because no, and it'll start getting brown on the bottom. So I can see I have some little brown flakes in there, but that's okay. Just kind of keep it on your lower setting, or if you have gas, which I really want a gas stove so bad. There's a funny story about this. We moved into the house and it had this old electric stove, and we can't run some places where we used to live at. You know, we used to have gas. I gotta stir this. Oh, it's getting brown. You know, you can have gas, you know, running through up to your house through the gas company. Well, here we can't. They don't run it. They can't run it through here. They don't have it in our neighborhood here, and they don't have that. So you have to get a propane tank, which I've lived at a house with a propane tank and have had a propane tank gas stove. Whew, that was a lot to say. But this stove, I keep telling my husband, I said, oh, someday we'll, you know, remodel our kitchen, or when this cooktop goes out, we'll just get a gas one and get the propane tank and, you know, whatever. Well, I am starting to think that this cooktop is never going to die, because I do not really like electric. It's not my favorite. I prefer gas, big time. I think it's easier to work with and cook on. I think electric can be a little tricky, and you can burn things until you start, you know, you learn your stove. But yeah. One of these days I will get a new one, hopefully. But this just keeps working, and you know, sometimes you just, so I just don't think sometimes the newer appliances, the quality's great right there. You know, we've had a refrigerator, didn't last forever, and and had, I don't know how many microwaves we've had come through, but they're just not built to last. I don't think so. Just be thankful that I have a stove. But anyway, yep. So it's coming along. I'm gonna keep stirring it, and I'll come back to you when it's ready. All right, it's coming together. Now I was reading the directions while I was stirring, and it says you want the consistency of peanut butter. It's almost there. And then once it starts, because it's getting thick, it's working. I've been stirring it the whole time. I have not been timing it. So, and a lot of times it just depends on everybody's stove and everybody's, it can be just a little different. So it's around probably that time. But it's getting thicker. It's getting there. It's like a very creamy peanut butter right now. Just keep working at it. Keep stirring it. Oh, I would put this recipe into not a fussy recipe, but something I wouldn't make all the time just because of this part right here. But, you know, but if it's worth it, if it tastes good, or if it tastes better, then it's, you know, it'll be worth it. I'm just gonna keep stirring it here. And then after it is done and I'm happy with it, ooh, it's getting thicker, I can feel it. You need to let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes off the heat to cool down a little bit so it can be spreadable on our peanut butter crunch cereal. You know, it's funny, when I was looking for this Captain Crunch, I was thinking it was the other shape of Captain Crunch. I think they were kind of like I'm sure they still are, in little squares. But it's been a while since I've had Captain Crunch. We are not the biggest cereal family. If I do buy cereal, it'd probably be more like this dessert cereal, but we just don't really eat it. We just don't eat it very much. All right, I am going to call this and say this is good because it's thick and it will thicken up. I'm going to turn it off. It will thicken up even more as it sets. So I'm just going to set it over here. Oh, that's not going to work. I'm just going to set it over here, and when I come back, we'll spread it on our stuff. Okay, so it's ready. I'll let it cool. You can see it's nice and thick. Oh, the shadow right there. I moved the camera to the other side. Okay. Let's spread this out. Let's kind of put it out so it's easier to spread. Get it mixed around. So last night we had, at our church, we had 6 people get baptized last night. And it was such a great time. They baptized, we live by lots of rivers. So we went to a different church that has a nice pavilion. Ooh, it's getting hard quick. A nice pavilion, and they had access to the river right there, and they took them down there and they got baptized, and it was such a sweet moment to share with those people. Yeah. And then we had a cookout. I made a squash casserole, and oh, this got hard quick. And it just was a fantastic time. We had a good time spending that special day, that special time in a nice Christian's life to commit to the Lord. So there, now I'm gonna try to get this over here because that's not good. Maybe I just let it sit too long. Or maybe I cooked it too long. Oh well, we'll get it. There we go, we're getting it. It has a nice layer of the caramel on here. So next we're going to melt chocolate, and I'm just gonna quick melt it in the microwave in my big measuring cup. And I'm just gonna do that, and I'm gonna come back after it's melted because that's kind of boring to see. And then I'll spread it on. Okay, got that all melted. Now we're just going to pour it on, kind of like we did. Now this was a 12-ounce bag of semi-sweet chocolate chips, and I just quick melted it in the microwave. It was easier for me, or if you want to use a double boiler, you can do that as well. But I thought I was pretty crafty. I just got this measuring cup out of the dishwasher, and it was still a little hot, so the handle was really hot. Pulling it out of the microwave. Usually you can hold it right there. Okay, so let's get this spread over. Oh, what do you call it? The whatchamacallit bars. There, they're looking really good. I'm gonna, so it's not too hot, take my finger here and spread that off. Get it all on there. Okay, there. It's coming along. There's a big chunk of chocolate. So there. All right. Now let's make a little design. I guess you could probably cut them in, not put the chocolate on and then let it cool and cut it and then dip it in chocolate to make it look more like a candy bar. But here we go. We're gonna let these cool and set up for a while, and I'll come back and we'll give them a try. This is gonna be fun. Okay, it's been some time. We've had our dinner. My husband and boys went to the DG, and look what they found. We got chocolate by me now. They found one. So, here they are. Whoa! They look much different. Now let's see if they taste the same. Which one should I do first? Let's do the original. Here we go. Let's taste this. Yummy. That was really good. Okay. This thing is massive. Let's try this. I don't even know where to start. It's good. I have to say. The caramel tastes the same. The chocolate, I think it's milk chocolate. This recipe said to use the semi-sweet. I would use milk chocolate. Now, for the bottom, it's close, but it's not the same. So maybe, we'll see. Maybe I'll try to rework it to make it taste a little better, because this one wasn't my recipe, but maybe I should try that. Let me try it again. Oh, that's great. Wow. It's good, but it's similar. So if you can't find the candy bars, you can always try to recreate them at home. So maybe give it a try, or if you have any suggestions, leave a comment down below and maybe we'll revisit this again. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.